What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are preparing physically, mentally, and spiritually for the dark times that are ahead of us. And I hope you guys are getting ready for God and staying strong. Got some more important information to share with you guys today. And it's a pretty rainy day out here, which is why I'm not really walking around and, talking right now. That's why I'm just staying in this one little area right now. And it's a lot of noise inside the house, which is why I'm not recording inside there too. So, and I know I could edit that out and, get rid of the background noise with some edits, but, I'm not going to sit here and, talk over people and, mess up my entire speech just because it's hard for me to focus on what I'm trying to talk about. So, and there's some background noise in this video, but it's not too loud. It's like just cars moving by, because there's like a highway near my area, but I could get rid of that easily. It's not distracting to me. It's not really causing that much of a problem. So, it's not even really that loud. But I'm going to get right into what I want to talk about today. So I want to talk about the eviction thing and a warning that Deutsche Bank just put out recently about this inflation problem, which is being heavily downplayed, by the way. These people are also even lying to you about the entire inflation rate. Giving you these phony numbers in terms of what the percentage of it really is. But of course, they're not going to give you the truth about what's going on. But yeah, I'm going to get right into it. So apparently the eviction thing, right? The eviction ban is supposed to end this June on the 30th. And right now, as I'm talking, it's June 11th, 2021. But apparently it's supposed to end on June 30th. And you also had, I believe about a month ago, the federal judge overturn the eviction moratorium thing that was put in place by the CDC. And I believe it was disputed, if I'm not mistaken. But this whole thing is a part of the script, folks. You got to understand that everything that dominates the news media, it's all a part of the it's all a part of their agendas, and it's all for a reason, and it's all a part of the script. So yeah, that happened, and now the eviction ban thing is supposed to end on June 30th, and it's very possible that it could get extended. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed for this eviction ban thing to actually happen, because it's very possible that it could get extended. But I really do believe deep down in my soul and deep down in my heart that if this were to happen, that if this eviction ban thing were to happen, and if millions and millions and millions of people were to get kicked off of their property and get evicted, I really, really do feel like that it would cause violence to skyrocket even more in the country. And the reason I say this is obviously because people are going to get very, very angry when they're going to be forced, or when they get forced to leave their property, and when they get forced to, and of course, people haven't been able to pay rent for months and months and months, because of everything that's been taking place for the past month. These people could have taken advantage of that time, with this whole eviction moratorium thing. They could have taken advantage of that time and saved up more and more and more, and been able to pay all of that off. But I mean, it's very difficult to do things like that with everything that's been happening, and with this inflation that's getting worse, right? The purchasing power is getting destroyed day in and day out, while the people on top, the rich billionaires, continue to thrive and continue to have nothing to worry about, because they're basically set for life with the money that they have. But it's the average person, the working class, that always has to pay the price, and that always has to suffer the consequences for the bad things that take place in this world, and just the bad things that happen with the economy. So yeah, you have that whole thing with the evictions, which I already said what I had to say about it in this video. But you have that, and you also now have Deutsche Bank economists warning that that this inflation issue, it's looking like it might, be temporary, but they're now warning that it's likely to become an issue that is going to end up leading to a big crisis. So I've been making many different videos talking about this inflationary problem that we're having. I even made a video about the warning that John Williams, another economist, put out about this inflation thing. And he was actually warning of hyperinflation in 2022. And we don't know for certain if that's going to happen. It is very possible. Me personally, what I believe is I don't think for a second that this inflationary problem is going to get any better. I do think that it is going to get worse. I do think that we're going to keep seeing prices go up just for the fact that they have, an agenda to implement UBI and whatnot. And once that's implemented, what makes you think, for a second that there's going to be a deflationary scenario? I'm not saying that it's guaranteed for a deflationary scenario to not happen, because it's still very possible. But I just don't see that happening. In my opinion, I think it's a very slim chance of something like that happening with what they're trying to do, And these people know with this inflation thing, it's making things tougher for people. It's making people more poor. It's making things tougher for people. It's making it harder for people to put food on the table. It's making it harder for people to get the things that they need, the resources that they need to be able to live, because it's making prices go up. And with all this money printing, it's just making that whole issue even worse. And of course, it's all by design, folks. It's all by design to make things tougher for you, to make the working class have to slave even more. And then now they're pointing the blame on the working class people for these economic issues, which they created. These people literally all last year told you that your business is not important. These people told you that your business is not important. Meanwhile, fast food has been open and up and running and thriving for a very long time. These people told you that this was about saving lives. This whole thing that happened for the past year was about saving lives, even though these fast food chains are still up and running, even though the cigarettes are still not banned. These people convinced you to believe in their nonsense. These people told you that your business is not important, while all these mega corporations continue to succeed and continue to stay open and continue. Stupid bug on my leg, but yeah, you pretty much get the point of that. I'm not trying to get off topic, but you get the point, right? These people don't care about you, folks. These people, for the past year, they've ruined millions and millions and millions, even billions of people's lives with everything that they've done throughout last year. And last year was just a warm-up, too. Just think about it, folks. It was just a warm-up. Can you imagine what it's going to look like in the future when they really pull off the real deal, the big crisis, the big one, the big event that's going to shock humanity like never before? Which I personally really do believe confidently that it will be a grid shutdown. I do think that they are planning on doing that, but I don't want to talk about that in this video. I've been talking about that a lot. I've already made videos about that. So yeah, you have this whole inflationary problem, which is still getting worse. I even, recently seen these bugs, so many bugs around here. It's ridiculous. But I recently seen, and I do know how this whole thing with Amazon works, but I seen like rice, right? It was a 15-pound bag of rice. It used to be like $20, but then it became $40 when I checked like about a week ago. But then I checked again, and I think it has something to do with the supply and demand issues. But I saw that happen, and then I checked recently again, and then it went back to $20. But it does have something to do with supply and demand, because you have to understand, when the supply is low and the demand is high, it's going to cause the prices to go up, and because the supply is going to be low, obviously. But it's all by design. Understand that everything, these rising prices and whatnot at the grocery store, things like that, that's happening because of what these people are doing. This insane amount of money printing, still printing trillions and trillions of dollars like it's nothing. And while they continue to rob you of your wealth, and while they continue to destroy your purchasing power, these are the things that they're still doing. And it's all setting the stages for a bigger crisis. But continue to prepare yourself as much as possible. Don't stop preparing. Get what you need now before it's too late, because eventually it will be too late. And when it is too late, there will be no turning back. Everything that happened last year was just a warm-up, and they had everybody complaining about how bad last year was. And yeah, you now have Deutsche Bank economists warning that this inflationary problem could lead to a big crisis in the near future. I believe they mentioned 2023, but I think, I really do think that we're going to see something very big happen even before 2023. And it's also funny too, because of that warning, that obviously this isn't really funny at all. It's actually extremely evil what these people are doing. But it's pretty ridiculous and insane and interesting how these people literally come out with a warning in 2020 talking about famines, and then all of a sudden we're seeing shortages get worse in 2021. They literally made that warning in 2020 saying that we would see famines of biblical proportions in 2021, like the UN, right? The UN's David Beasley, the head of the World Food Program, he's connected to the UN, and of course they're on board with the entire agenda. But he made that warning in 2020 saying that would happen in 2021, and look what's happening right now. These people are telling you, folks. They're not hiding what they're planning on doing. They're not hiding these things. They're openly telling you what they're doing. And it's just a matter of, are you going to pay attention or not? But continue to do what you can to prepare as much as possible, physically, mentally, and spiritually. You just have to be prepared for anything. Don't be one of those people who just wait for something bad to happen to prepare. Make those preparations now and do what you can to get what you need, because eventually it will be too late, like I said. And when it is too late, there will be no turning back. So please share this video far and wide, and I thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm out.